morning. Have I added myself to the stream? Yes, I did. Look at me go. Hey, crazy girl. How are you, sweetie? I haven't seen you in a while. Have you been well? Hope so. So yeah, I know it sounds like I'm sitting literally on the freeway right now, but I'm actually on my front porch and there's just a lot of Saturday traffic. But that's how it be sometimes. Duchess, fuck you mean? How you doing, girl? Hi, Honest Rage. Good to see you. Dang it, I thought I could go the first 5 minutes without saying the Effenheimer, but of course I could not. Oh well. Just based on the title, they're going to demonetize this video anyway, so it's fine. It's fine. It's not what it's about. So, again, I hope everyone's doing really well. I apologize for not appearing to you last night. I was, I don't know. I was having a time. Hi, Stella. I am on the Hot Mess Express, but you know, it's cool. So, what do y'all know about this case here? This is obviously it's beyond devastating. It should have been prevented, in my opinion. And I'm not going to lecture anybody about gun rights, stuff like that. I'm only going to talk to you about the responsibility of parents and teachers and school administrators and just community in general. Because we've lost 4 lives here, and that should not have happened. Look at these beautiful people. In the top left, we have Hannah St. Giuliana. Her name in and of itself is pure beauty. Hannah St. Giuliana lost her life on Tuesday at the age of 14. Why? Because she went to school. That's why she lost her life. She went to school on the wrong day. She was in the wrong hallway. Justin Schilling, age 17. I hear that he had 3 jobs. This young man worked 3 jobs, but he went to school on Tuesday and lost his life. Lower left-hand corner, we have Tate. And I don't want to pronounce his last name wrong, so I'm not going to say it. Age 16. Football player. Lost his life on Tuesday because he went to school. He's walking down the hallway. And Madison Baldwin. Age 17. Again, went to school on a Tuesday. Just going to school where we send our kids every day to learn. Not only to learn how to read and to write and to do math problems, but how to learn about the world, right? How to get along in the world. Isn't that what we're supposed to be teaching? Or is that something separate? Is that for the parents alone? Do only the parents need to worry about the emotional well-being of children? I think not. I think we all have a responsibility if we want to live in a society that treats one another well. If we want to live in a safe society, we all have a responsibility. Yes, it is tragic. Hi, Brandy. I'm so glad to see your smiling face. Hi, Brenda. Good to see you. So, hi, Chris. Good to have you too, sweetie. So these 4 smiling faces here, no longer with us. because of one young person who, I don't know, made the conscious decision to take their lives. What reason could he possibly have had? There's no rational reason, of course. But the question, just answering that question is not enough, because what I want to know, what I truly want to know, and after we get into this case more, you'll understand why I have this question. Why? Why did he... Ooh, a group of motorcycles just drove by. Why did he not get some sort of attention or help or intervention prior to this happening? How does that happen? And guys, it happens a lot, because this was the 58th school shooting in America this year. So this is not something that just happens once in a while anymore. This is a serious issue. So if you have children who go to school, grandchildren who go to school, you may want to think about what they're learning. Are you okay with them only learning about, science experiments and 3 times 3 and algebraic equations and such? Or do you want to make sure that they're learning about how to be emotionally well? So I'm going to leave these photos up while I read from an article. And I have, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 tabs open right now, so they might be all discombobulated and I may go out of order and, all that kind of stuff. So please be patient with me. Usually I try to be a better teacher than this, better prepared. But you know what I'll say about my teaching that really never wavered? My students always knew that I cared about them. My students knew that if they had a bad morning, or if they had trouble on the bus, or if they had a bad night last night even, that they could come to me and that I would listen to them, and that I wouldn't bother them about doing 2 + 2 and all that other shit for a time. Because their basic need to feel safe and whole was not intact. You can't learn the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s if your belly isn't full, if you are afraid of something, if you are in emotional distress. So that said, I do apologize for if I'm all over the place. But sometimes the relationship is more important than the lesson and how well put together. So that's why it's all over the place. All right. So let me scroll back up here. So the young man who is being charged as an adult because of the severity of his crimes, the murders that he committed, is 15-year-old Ethan Crumley. He is charged in the killings of 4 of his Oxford high school classmates. Recorded videos on his cell phone the night before the shootings and wrote in a journal recovered in his backpack of plans to shoot and kill students, all using the 9mm purchased by his parents. A day before the shooting, school officials spoke with the suspect over, quote unquote, concerning classroom behavior and discussed the issue again with him and his parents in the hours before Tuesday's alleged rampage. Just before 1 p.m. Tuesday, Crumley allegedly emerged from a school bathroom armed. Prosecutors say that he then methodically and deliberately walked down a hallway before he began shooting at students and a teacher at close range. Bouchard said Crumley's alleged targeting of students seemed random based on video footage he and other investigators reviewed. 4 students died and 7 people were injured. Crumley fired 30 rounds with his 9mm semi-automatic pistol purchased by his parents. The whole ordeal took 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, a 14-year-old boy shot and killed 4 innocent students, his peers, at random. Not only had he planned this, but he was caught planning this. Ethan Crumley was brought into the administrator's office after a teacher noticed that his journal contained concerning pictures and words. A picture of a gun being fired, blood, words like make the voices stop. And let's go beyond even thinking about the students whose lives were lost. There's nothing that we can do to bring them back. But let's think about the students who were there and saw this happen. The students that were injured by gunfire at school. The nightmares that they are going to have. Will they ever feel safe at school again? And why should they? Why should they feel safe at school again? Oh, really, Pez? The mom was an awful person. She was not nice. That's what I've heard. As teachers, we spend so much time with our students. We know when things are off. That's right. So that's my question. My question to, and I know you guys, there are probably, his teachers are probably going crazy in their minds right now. And this is going to sound so cold, but they should be. They should be. Because something should have happened. There had to have been some kind of sign before the day that they saw this in his notebook. Did he have any friends? Did he have any friends at school? Did he smile? Did he talk? Were any of his teachers close with him? Right. It takes a village. It takes the parents. It takes the teachers. Hi, Penny. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Rhonda. And yeah, I don't know, Rhonda, what kind of a present is a gun. I don't, and I don't want to get into that debate. I know that there are responsible gun owners, and they teach their kids how to hunt. And there's plenty of responsible gun owners that teach their kids how to hunt, and nothing like this happens. But that wasn't a hunting gun, right? I'm sorry. Do you need a 9mm shotgun? No, not a shotgun. What's it called? Yeah, shotgun. For hunting? I do not think so. And then she took him out to practice shooting it too. This boy was going from classroom to classroom, trying to get into more. He was trying to kill as many people as he could. Okay, what is this now? There are parents going to arraignments because Jennifer knew. That's the speculation. Okay. She did know. Here's what I'm going to tell you right now. Those parents sat up in that office, that school office, and showed the journal entry to these parents. Okay. And they had a little conversation about, what's going on here, Ethan? Why are you upset? Why do you have these drawings in here? We're very concerned. Are you okay? All the while, the parents know that they bought him a gun. It's already been posted on social media, this gun. Okay. It's already out there. Now, whether or not that particular administrator knew, I have no idea. But can someone tell me why the fuck they didn't search his backpack? Anybody? Because when they were sitting there asking him about this, the gun was in his fucking backpack. And instead of searching his backpack, or even making his parents take him home, they allowed him to stay at school. With the stipulation that they get him into counseling within 48 hours. What the actual fuck? He drew a picture of what he was going to do. His parents bought him a gun. They knew it wasn't locked. And they left him there at school. When they got home and realized that the gun was not at home, Ethan's mother, Jennifer, sent him a text message that said, "Don't do it." Really, Jennifer? Don't do it. I wish someone would have said that to you when you decided to buy him a 9mm. Hi, Diane. I'm a little amped up right now because this is so... Mm-hmm. All right, so the dad, my understanding, if this is correct, what I read is that the dad, when he realized that Ethan had the gun, he did make a call. Okay, but it was too late. It was too late. Here's what needed to happen. First of all, what the fuck? I already said this. Why are you buying your kid a gun? You shouldn't have done that. But anyway, before all that, why do we not why is this pasty little white boy walking around looking like that and no one thinks that it's concerning? I'm sorry. You can look at a picture of this kid and you can tell that he's a concern. No one is going to tell me that that kid, that Ethan Crumley, was a popular kid that everybody liked and got along well with his peers. Blah 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 blah. He didn't have any behavior issues. Okay, so he didn't stand out that way. He didn't have any behavior issues. What was the other thing? I think his grades were fine. Like he was not problematic. But see, those are the kids that you have to check in with all of your kids. You have to know all of your kids as a teacher. And the parents. I mean, hello. All right, I have a whole playlist, so let's get to the playlist because I'm ranting. I know I'm ranting like a crazy woman because I'm crazy. So I'm going to stop that. I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to narrate myself while I do it because that's what I do. I do what I do and I don't know why. And let's go to this one. This looks interesting. Ethan Crumley's dad's YouTube channel shut down. Huh. Go figure. Let's switch to the other one. Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Ethan. So today,
Hey guys, real quick, I forgot to tell you, this is going to be from Plunder. Okay. So if y'all don't know who Plunder is, I'm going to add her link. If I have a moderator in here, if you would drop Plunder's link, I would appreciate it. If not, I'll just do it after. Hi, Brandy. Oh, I already said hi to Brandy. Hi, Steffi. How are you today? Lorton girl. Yeah, they didn't check his backpack. That's it. I mean, yeah, I just, I can't. Makes no fucking sense. Okay, add to stream. All right, so this is Plunder's video, y'all.
I just felt like doing a pirate ship video for some entertainment. Basically, I went on a cruise to different islands and I got ships from all different islands. This ship actually wasn't from an island, but all these other 3 are from islands. And today I just decided to make a pirate ship video. So basically, these pirate ships have their names right here. This is St. Kitts pirate ship. Very big compared to the others.
All right, it's time to insert a joke at this time because the reason why that video just paused was because my boob my boob did it. I'm holding onto my laptop and my boob paused the video. So I guess it's time to say something. So how the heck does a kid go from building ships. Like, hello. And then, okay, let me state the obvious here also that Ethan, Ethan's family, uh, they have some money. Okay. This is not a child living in poverty. So he doesn't have that rogue boob for real. He doesn't have that going against him, and because that's a stressor, poverty is definitely a stressor, and he didn't have that. Okay, he's going on cruises and shit, and he's building ships, model ships, so he's living the life. All right, let's get back.
That over here. This thing actually broke right here somehow. I don't know how, but it kind of broke, so yeah. How dare you fall on me? This pirate ship isn't a very good stander. Just put it right there. Okay, I'm just put it right there. So, I got the St. Kitts, the St. Martin, the Whitefish Point. This is actually from the UP I got. And this is the Grand Turk pirate ship. So, those are... Oh, sorry, that's my dad. Why you guys keep falling on me? Why you guys keep falling on me? Oh my, I'm just going to leave it like that. So yeah, these are my pirate ships that I'm going to do a video about, a battle about. So yeah, that's basically it. Let me see if I could get this up. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so basically I'm just doing a battle of it. And yeah, so I'll see you all in a minute. Okay, so we're back. So I got these pirate ships in a little area right here. We got the two white flags. We got the good ships, St. Kitts and St. Martin. Then we got the dark flags. This ship actually doesn't have any flags, but still a pirate ship, I think. Yeah, it's still a pirate ship. So we built and this other ship. That's Whitefish Point and Grand Turk. Sorry if you can't. It looks like the other pirate ships died. Okay. Grand Turk. So basically, I'm going to do a long video of a pirate ship battle. Not that long, probably like 11 or 10 minutes long, maybe 9. So basically, I'm just going to do a battle and see actually what basically who's going to win. I'm basically going to do even shares on this. So is it going to be Whitefish Point, Grand Turk, or is it going to be St. Kitts and St. Martin? Both the Saint. So let me just get the little cannon. Didn't want to do it with my fingers. So I'll see you all in a minute again. Okay, I'm back. Unfortunately I could only find 2 cannons. They're actually red. Well, they're not cannons, but cannon bolts. They're actually red. So I'm just probably going to use these, like 2, since there's 2 of each ship. So I could just use like one with this ship, and one with this ship, and one with this ship, and one with this ship. This ship's got a can. So yeah, that's basically it. So I'm going to let the battles begin. So it's 1775. St. Kitts and St. Martin are sailing down the 7 seas of the Caribbean Islands. Next to them is Whitefish Point and Grand Turk. As they get uncomfortable while sailing for 1 hour, the Whitefish Point decides to fire a cannon at St. Kitts. So after he fires the cannon, it misses the ship and hits the water. And so after St. Kitts and St. Martin, they started to get aggressive. Okay. They started to get aggressive and started to fire back. St. Kitts fires back at Whitefish Point, and it hits these two. It hits this cannon and a little bit damage here. And there's another bullet which hits the exact same point, so there's double the damage here. This rope broke, and this can is out of tact. So then Grand Turk starts to step in and protect Whitefish Point. And decides to fire at St. Kitts, which hits the little hole right above this cannon right here. And then St. Martin decides to fire and hit the top of the sail for Grand Turk. As Grand Turk tries to turn the sail as it's broken, crashes in the Whitefish Point, and now they're stuck together somehow. I don't know how, but okay. So then, throughout the battle, the ships decide to break apart, so Grand Turk unhooked and decided to move way away, and Whitefish Point decided to fall back and sneak behind St. Martin here. So after that, St. Martin moves a little bit forward. Fish Point came and ran right into St. Martin. Fish Point decides to fall back. And then Grand is almost dead. So Whitefish Point falls back and fires.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize this whole video was Ethan playing Battleship with his fucking model ships. And what in the hell? Now, I don't know what age he was when he did this, okay? When he made this video, but if he's 15 while he's making this video, that's a little weird. Just saying. It's not weird if you don't go shoot up schools and you play with those things, but when you play with those things and then you shoot up a school, then it makes it look weird. You feel me? I don't know. I don't want to watch that anymore. I don't want to listen to his squeaky ass voice. It's annoying as fuck. Because I'm mad at him because he is a douchebag. So let's do this one. This is interesting. Woman who has son with Ethan Crumley's father describes relationship. Okay. Okay, so I can remove that one. Okay. Let me put this banner back up because I just want the victims' names to be up there. Okay.
We are speaking to a Florida woman who says she knows them quite well. She is telling 7 Action News that the Crumleys, along with their son Ethan, deserve maximum punishments for any and all of their roles in the tragedy at Oxford High School. 7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig has more on what she had to say.
We're learning more about James and Jennifer Crumley from a woman who has an 18-year-old son with him. Michelle Cobb says he left them strapped for cash and struggling to make ends meet.
He's a piece of he really is. The whole time of my son growing, my son is 18 years old now. And I cried the moment he turned 18 because I thought all of this hell is over as far as dealing with my son's father.
And the father of her 18-year-old son, Eli, is James Crumley. James is also Ethan's father. And Michelle Cobb says it was Jennifer Crumley who made her son's life unbearable when he would visit his dad and half-brother Ethan. She says it was Jennifer who ran the show.
Jennifer was a monster. She could do no wrong, and she was right about everything.
Prosecutors say it was Jennifer Crumley who posted the picture of the pistol on Instagram, writing "Mom in Sunday," testing out his new Christmas present.
They pretty much gave him whatever he wanted.
Cobb says while James and Jennifer gave Ethan whatever he wanted, it was a hopeless struggle to get James to pay even $67 a week in child support when he was making six figures.
My son is 6'3" and 240 pounds. Do you know how much $67 a week pays?
More than ever, she's thankful Eli left the Crumley's Oxford home right before the start of the pandemic. And Eli says he never even saw any guns when he was here.
The first thing that came to my mind when all of this happened was how thankful that I was that my son was not there.
Cobb says she's heartbroken for the families whose children were killed and those injured. And she says Ethan and his parents must be held accountable for their roles in the tragedy.
I hope they get the maximum, honestly.
Kimberly Craig, 7 Action News.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, so okay. Buddy makes six figures but can't pay child support. Cool. That's great. I know, right? He sounds like a baby. But I don't know. I don't know how old he was in that, but I feel like there is a video of his arraignment where you do, because I know I heard his voice another time and like he still sounds like that. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. Okay, so witnesses said he was tugging on doors. We knew from visible evidence he shot through doors. And yet, okay, his attorney who appeared on his behalf only said, "My client is standing mute and we're asking the court to enter a not guilty plea." Are you, what? How? There's no way. Okay, I have, oh shit. I'm trying to play this other video, but it's small. Let me try a different tab. Oh, check this out. The parents, they've now been arrested. But these MFers, like, really, what were they planning on doing? Like, they withdrew $4,000 from their bank account. Okay. So let me get this straight. You bought your spoiled ass kid, who's clearly disturbed, a gun. He did what he did. And now you are running away. I just have never been more shocked. Yeah, they withdrew $4,000 from an ATM on Friday. Ultimately, Detroit police made the arrest after a local business owner saw a woman standing near the suspect vehicle in his parking lot and called 911, according to a statement to CNN from Under Sheriff Michael McCabe and with Oakland County Sheriff's Office. After an extensive search by DPD, including Detroit K-9 units, both of the fugitives were located and arrested. Prosecutors had worried about the couple escaping because they didn't have ties to their community, and officials had trouble locating the Crumleys once their son had been arraigned, a law enforcement source told CNN on Friday. Okay, so law enforcement were tracking the couple's whereabouts by cell phone pings, but that signal had dropped because the couple's cell phones were turned off. So they knew what they were doing. The arrest came after officials revealed more information Friday regarding the circumstances leading up to the deadly shooting on November 26th. James Crumley bought the gun authorities believe was used in the shooting at an Oxford, Michigan store with his son, according to Karen McDonald, the prosecutor who is leading the case. Shortly after, his son posted a picture. Oh, his son posted a picture. Are you okay? Ethan's ass posted a picture on Instagram and captioned it, "Just got my first new beauty today. Sig Sauer 9mm," with heart eyes emoji. Jennifer Crumley also posted about the gun on social media, calling it his new Christmas present. And his mother also took him to a shooting range the weekend before the shooting at the school, according to law enforcement. On Monday, the day before the shooting, a teacher saw Ethan Crumley searching ammunition on his phone and reported it to school officials. Jennifer Crumley did not respond to school officials when they called her about that conduct, but later that day sent a message to her son saying, "LOL, I'm not mad at you. You have to learn not to get caught." For real, Jennifer, that's what you said? But you're caught now, Jennifer. Then, on Tuesday, the day of the shooting, a different teacher became alarmed after the alleged shooter had a drawing that showed the semi-automatic handgun pointing at the words, "The thoughts won't stop. Help me." Another section displayed a drawing of a bullet with the words, "Blood everywhere," written above it. Between the drawing of the gun and the bullet is one of a person who seems to have been shot twice and is bleeding. Below that figure is a drawing of a laughing emoji. Also found on the note were the statements, "My life is useless," and "The world is dead." The parents were called for a meeting in the school with the counselor and their son, who had altered the illustration by scratching out the drawings of the gun and bloody figure along with the words. So what was left? Just the paper? It was all just scribbly? The fuck? The parents refused to take their son out of school. Oh, I'm sorry. Huh? What? Who's in charge? The what? The parents refused to take their son out of school, and he was allowed back to class. Where they do that at? Where, huh? I've never heard of such. The parents refuse to take their child. It's called a suspension. You suspend that motherfucker. You know what? They probably could have charged him right there for something. He had a gun on social media, and he's basically made terroristic threats in his journal. But you send him back to class because the parents, quote unquote, refused to take him home? I'm sorry, but that administration has blood on their hands, in my opinion. He was sitting there with a gun in his fucking backpack, right there. And y'all didn't think you should check his backpack? No. Yeah, it's bizarre. It's fucking asinine. They ought to charge the principal too for that shit. I'm telling you, listen, if I were that teacher, okay, and Ethan came stumbling back in my classroom, first of all, I would have looked at him like, what the hell are you doing back in here? Not in a mean way, but just surprising, you know? And I would have said, Did they check your backpack? Like a real talk, because that is standard. That's standard protocol. Or I would have called administration and be like, excuse me, why is he back in here? Huh? Did y'all check his backpack? No? Okay, he'll be right there. He'll be right back to the office. What the? I'm at a loss for words at this point. The detail that they give us of that picture, that's that boy needed to be suspended just for drawing that picture, let alone the potential of having a weapon. Just for that picture alone. That's not a conversation with the parents and then the parents say, no, we're not taking him home. That's some rich white people shit right there. I'm sorry. But I'm not, because I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. If that would have been some parents that don't have money in a school that doesn't have money, that kid would have gone home. That kid's backpack would have been checked. Just my opinion. I don't think that it's a private school. Yeah, his parents are being charged. So let me find. I told you I was all over the place now. This is not my best lesson plan, students. Oh, okay. I think this. Okay, hold on.
So for Smoke Post, they just send you a.
Well, daggone if this isn't another plunder video. Yeah, it's a public. Okay. I don't care. Listen. Some public schools look like a fucking private school because they have all the bells and whistles, and that's just how it is. And then you go, 2 towns over and it looks like a damn third world country type of school. Right, James Crumley. I think that's the one. I think this is the one that I meant to show earlier, you guys. There's going to be a damn ad, okay? So let me do this. Let me play it on mute.
Cool box.
And I won't even share it yet. Okay. Sounds good, Libs. Okay, good. Okay. Now we're going to unmute it. We're going to go back here. Mute myself. Lip locked. No more. I love that photo of you. That is stunning.
Welcome back. This is it. Yeah. So this is a quick vlog. I'm going to do Lake Superior. I got Lake Superior, and over there is the one and only Peaceful Panda. Very rapid over here. I don't know if you can hear my voice clearly, but very rapid. Right now we're at Lake Superior. We're at a beach. We're actually at Whitefish Point. There's a little lighthouse we started at. Basically we're just taking a walk. Today is my parents' anniversary, so anniversary is done.
Subscribe to Plunder. It seems like the words of James Crumley and Jennifer Crumley, parents of Ethan Crumley, are coming back to bite them in the butt. This Facebook comment from James R. Crumley: Trump will protect our Second Amendment. I want my child to get a gun. The question is, why were the Crumbleys so fixated on getting Ethan a gun, apparently a Christmas present, which he then used to turn around and cause a lot of harm? We learned from today's press conference that Ethan Crumbly's dad bought him the gun used in that shooting just 4 days before the November 30th tragedy in Michigan. Now, James Crumley and Jennifer Crumley are both facing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. And Jennifer's Instagram, along with James's Facebook, is kind of like evidence showing exactly their intentions. Jennifer's Instagram said, "Mom and Son Day, testing out his new Christmas present. My first time shooting a 9mm. I hit the bullseye." These parents are being criticized because their son was obviously troubled. We learned also in today's press conference with Oakland County Prosecutor Karen McDonald that Ethan was so troubled, he was drawing such a troubling sketch that his teacher took a photo of it. It spoke about death and blood, and it was crying out for help. And when Ethan was brought in the office to discuss this with his parents, and he may have had this 9mm right there in his backpack, his parents did not take him home. He altered the artwork that caused such alarm to the teacher. People did raise red flags, but the parents decided to just let Ethan go back to the classroom. It's one thing to want to be protected against anyone who's trying to violate you. It's quite another thing to hand a person, a 15-year-old, who is obviously troubled, a 9mm and just kind of let them go crazy with it. There's a lot of controversy over this decision today. People are attempting to blame the school. Why weren't there metal detectors? A lot of these social media accounts are disappearing. James Crumley is 45 and he works as an account executive at an office supply company in the Detroit area. That was according to his now deleted LinkedIn page. His Facebook page has been either made private or deleted, but this one post he shared his wife Jennifer's letter to Mr. Trump. We kind of went over that in a previous video. I'll put the link below. YouTube has currently been shutting off the ability to comment on the most recent Ethan videos. At one point, James must have asked, "Can anyone shed some light on the question for me? My 9th grader does not take tests. Is this correct?" Obviously, he had questions about Ethan's homework and his tests, and if it was something that was true or not. So we learned that Ethan is being charged as an adult with 4 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of terrorism, 7 counts of assault with intent to do harm, 12 counts of possession of a firearm, and the commission of a felony. Now, this firearm is one that Ethan was right there with his dad when he purchased it. And unfortunately, Ethan turned around and used it to create this disturbing countdown online, leaving comments. "This is the gun I'm going to use," and just truly disturbing things, crying out for help on Snapchat, and people did raise the alarm. Where does the onus fall? Should it have fallen on these parents who should have taken their son out of the school and attempted to get him some kind of help instead of handing him this 9mm 6-hour SP 2022 pistol? It was a Friday, November 26th. Why would they think this should be the ultimate Christmas present to give a troubled young man? Whether Ethan was bullied or not, and of course no one should bully another, that person being bullied shouldn't be allowed to turn around and then go harm others. So the county prosecutor is saying that she is holding people responsible. Gun owners have to be accountable. As soon as he heard there was some kind of school shooting, apparently James went straight home to find his 9mm missing. There is a mountain of digital evidence, said the prosecutor. She is confident that they're going to be able to prove that Ethan Crumbley's actions were indeed premeditated. Indeed, that's what the children have warned all this time. When James Crumley and his wife were called to the school, Oxford High School, for a meeting with administrators about their son the morning of the shooting, they were called there to address their son's behavior in the classroom that was supremely concerning. Now, we didn't get a lot of details about the behavior beyond that scary sketch, but Ethan's parents left about 10 a.m. and the tragedy would take place a few hours later. In the meantime, the parents just seemed, I guess, gleeful enough to have Ethan have this weapon on him at certain points. At one point, Ethan's mom did text him, quote, "Don't do it." But apparently that might have been too late for Ethan to even heed his mom's warning. Jennifer Crumley, in that blog post, had written that James suffered serious medical issues that forced him to stop working back in 2016. She wrote, quote, "My husband suffered a stroke and a broken back, and we were with just my income. Do you know how hard it is to support a family on only $40,000 a year? I couldn't qualify for state aid. I made too much," she had written. That was in the November 11th, 2016 blog post, "Dear Mr. Trump." She went on to talk about her work as a realtor. And of course, she said, "Thank you for allowing my right to bear arms, allowing me to be protected if I show a home to someone with bad intentions. Thank you for respecting that amendment." Well, it turns out it wasn't someone with bad intentions she was showing a home to that she would have to be worried about. It would end up being her own son. A lot of people may feel this is unfair. A lot of people may feel this is spot on for these parents to face charges. I think if anything, it will will teach gun owners to be responsible, to not purchase a gun for a troubled 15-year-old boy who is being bullied, perhaps, who has these disturbing thoughts, these disturbing social media posts, and a countdown.
Okay. Does anybody know where that business about him being bullied comes from? I have no doubt that that would likely happen because just looking at him, he just looks kind of like he's a target, but shouldn't be. But you know what I mean? And the reason I ask is because the school said that there was no evidence of bullying, that he was being bullied. Nothing. Of course, it could have been going on online, which brings me to a whole nother rabbit hole that maybe we'll go down another time.
To the damage he plans to do to those around him, leaving the gun unlocked with a person who is not emotionally healthy is not the safest option. I don't think that's what our forefathers intended when they wrote about the right to bear arms. So this case will set a precedent. I don't think the prosecutor was attempting to make an example out of Jennifer and James Crumley, but she called their actions egregious. The warnings egregious. There were so many red flags which could have come between Ethan and a 9mm. He didn't have to have access to it. And it's not only about schools and attempting to get metal detectors set up everywhere. We as parents do have to take some culpability. Hebrews 1:1-2. In the past, God spoke to our ancestors through the prophets at many times and in various ways. But in these last days, he has spoken to us by his Son, whom he appointed heir of all things, and through whom also he made the universe. Thanks for watching.
In the night, if you're wondering why they are in a day and only vlogs are in a day. And so yeah, just a quick little reminder. Well, not reminder, but little vlog to tell you. So I'll see you all next time.
Eat it. Like you're normally eat something. Okay. Just eat it, swallow, eat, put it like your mouth like you're dipping ice. I'm gonna be 10. This is baby food.
The Tektronix 6 Series B MSO goes beyond the expected to deliver the lowest noise and highest resolution.
The court's attention in making a record of that. And it does, I can indicate that they actually, Mr. and Mrs. Crumley, this is Judge Carniak. And could you just, you are the parents of Ethan Crumley, is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. Thank you. If you could just state your full names, that would be great.
Jennifer Crumley.
And yeah, this is Superior. I don't know why. I always call it ocean. It just looks like one. It's so rapid out here. The lake's freezing. So yeah, we went to the museum. They had some great models. Basically, hopefully I get go to the museum again and get the camera out, well, phone out, make a big vlog, and back at the campsite I'll show you what we're doing. Got a great fishing lake, so I might do a vlog of fishing. Just heading to this little pond over here, real quick. Oh, I know I was waiting for it. But yeah, doing a quick vlog like Superior. It's the biggest snake I think in the world. I'm not sure. But we went over the bridge. We got a video of that. Haven't got too much videos done because yesterday I was very sick in my head and just I couldn't get much vlogs done yesterday. I was only not sick enough yesterday to do the bridge vlog.
Listen, I think that this This video was in what, 2016? He must have been he just sounds sweet as pie. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, Pez, he sounds normal. And he, maybe he was then. But something happened. Something happened. Because that, what he did is psychotic. So I don't know. Did he have a psychotic break? Or is he just evil? Did he become possessed by demons? But what I do know is it didn't happen overnight. That's what I do know. And I do know that several people involved did not do what they should have done. And it's not only about the gun. And I'm not going to say, I will not get into the debate about the whole Second Amendment thing, because to me, what's most concerning is that a 15-year-old kid wanted to kill people. If someone wants to kill people, they're going to find a way to do it. Do we want to make it easier for them? Absolutely not. But I want to know why a 15-year-old boy wanted to kill people. So, I'm going to share with you a brief introduction to social emotional learning. When I was teaching, this is how I did it. And it worked. I don't know why this isn't. My boob's getting in the way again. Where's it at? Where's it at? There it is, babies.
Describes the mindsets, skills, attitudes, and feelings that help students to succeed both in school and in life. These include motivation, self-regulation, self-efficacy, growth mindset, and social connection. Research shows that supporting these types of needs leads to higher academic achievement and a more positive sense of well-being. Indeed, there is evidence that social emotional learning is a better predictor of later life success than academic grades. Social emotional learning is malleable in children and young adults, which means that teachers can support their students to develop these mindsets and skills. While different aspects of social emotional learning develop and vary with age and may be more or less malleable at different stages, teachers can incorporate strategies into their practice to promote the development of social emotional learning at all levels of schooling. Research suggests that long-term, sustained social emotional learning development and well-being should not be seen as something separate from other educational content or outcomes. Nor should a focus on social emotional learning mean less of a focus on other, particularly academic, aspects of the curriculum. Rather, social emotional should be integrated into everyday teaching and learning practices. Teachers should explicitly teach students strategies and practices they can use to monitor and improve their learning and progress, and schools should ensure that they build a culture that fosters meaningful relationships and a sense of belonging, and provide rich and challenging learning opportunities for all students. For more information about social emotional learning and strategies teachers can use to support their students' social connection, motivation, agency, and self-regulation, head to our website at theeducationhub.org.nz.
Okay, so what'd you think about that, kiddos? My dog thinks that she wants to bark. The school administrators, in my opinion, should have should be held accountable for their lack of proper procedure. Oh, absolutely. They should have checked the backpack. I've been said that, lip lock no more. But here's the thing, that's all of that stuff is reactionary. Is that a word? My dogs are so annoying, you guys. Listen. Let me complain about my dogs for a minute. I'm sitting out here on the porch, just trying to have a Saturday, just trying to do my stream. And these little, I love my dogs, you guys, I really do, but they are unhealthily obsessed with me. They feel the need to be in my presence at all times, to the point that I had to let them out here because they were tearing up the door because they knew that I was out here on the porch. So they started scratching at the door, whining, going ape shit, causing a ruckus. So I let them out here. Well, I would have let them out here in the beginning if they knew how to act out here. But see, they don't. They don't know how to act. If somebody walks by, see, my mom is walking up the driveway and they're barking their heads off at my mom, even though she lives here. They know her. And then they run, they go in the neighbor's yard. They just do too much. I don't think they love me. I think they have an unhealthy obsession. And it's problematic. Yeah, they just almost went inside and then realized, no. Well, what do we do about it, Jelly Bean? Because I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would be completely lost without these dogs. I'm unhealthily obsessed with them too. So that's how we do it. Yeah, we probably all are. As of late, I have several unhealthy obsessions. So, Steffi, mainstream media incited quite a bit. Oh, about what are y'all talking about? Okay, let me not scroll back up there because I just got confused. Lady Diva. I know I am too boring for them, for real, but like, I don't want to play. I don't want to play with you. Oh. Well, they really don't need to go for a walk because we have a huge yard. Like, isn't that true? That they don't need to walk if they have a huge yard? Or am I mistaken? Have you been talking to my dogs behind my back? Did they tell you their deepest desires? Because truthfully, I don't know. I think they really, I mean, the little one wants to be me. Like, I think she's a legitimate Libby wannabe over here. And her name is Lily, so that's awkward. Lily, Libby, you know. But what did you all think about the wait, do you struggle with them? What are you talking about? Struggle with who? In my own humble opinion. I love that. I love that phrase. Thank you for making your opinion humble, Lornacopia. Ooh, it's legitimately hot out. Duchess, are you in the house? We should go to the beach. I need some beach time, but I wish the water wasn't so cold. I love swimming in the ocean. Oh, snuggle, not. Oh, do you snuggle with them? I can read. Okay. Oh, did she? Is she on her motorcycle? Oh, that sounds amazing. I do I snuggle and I struggle with that. 100%. But what do you guys think about social emotional learning? So, and let me ask you this, for those of you who have kids, or if you have grandchildren, or if you remember being a student, what do you remember about your favorite teachers? Because what I remember about my favorite teachers, and this is just me. I mean, this could be, everyone could have their different take on things of what makes a fantastic teacher, but my favorite teachers were the ones who I knew saw me. I could tell that they actually cared for me. I could actually, I believe that they liked me. And whenever I had a teacher that was like kind of cranky or just really didn't, just we didn't connect, they just weren't very, they weren't high on my list. And then I had this one, teacher who, you guys, I don't know where he was from, but, and I don't have any problem with, basically what I'm trying to say is he had a made up accent, okay? He had a freaking made up accent and he thought it was funny as hell. And I did not, because I didn't understand chemistry. And that's what I was supposed to be learning. I sat in the front damn row. I sat in the front row and I still got a D in that class. All because that man, instead of saying ions, said uh-uns. And different shit like that. And he was just, I don't know, I didn't like him. And he didn't like me. So I didn't do well in that class. And not all kids are like that. Some kids are like, it really doesn't matter if they connect with the kid much. They just, maybe they have just that intrinsic desire to learn, which we all have to an extent, but it varies. And some people lose it throughout the years. And that is where Miss Libby comes in. Because when I taught at an alternative school, many of the kids who I taught, and this was also a special education, so a lot of the kids had behavior issues and learning disabilities, which don't get it twisted, I'm not saying that a learning disability automatically goes along with the behavior issue. What I am saying, though, is that oftentimes a student with a learning disability will have a difficult time in class, and that will translate to behavior problems because of frustration, and they're not getting they don't have the emotional intelligence, and they're not getting any instruction on how to manage their emotions, because I don't know, we're just not doing that in school. We're just expecting that parents are doing it, which they're supposed to be, but they're not. Not all of them. Not all parents are doing that. That's just that. Yeah, that's right. So, for example, I've had students who, I'll never forget this. This was my first year, not of teaching, but my first year at a certain school, an alternative school, where all of the kids were either had been expelled from their regular school or they were just coming out of jail. And So I taught a self-contained classroom. So these kids were in one of two classrooms all day long, and it was high school. They were not well enough behaved to go to all the different classes. So they either had to be with me or Miss whatever the hell her name was. And I planned my stuff like a regular class. You come to my class, you're going to learn just like any other student. Why wouldn't you? Okay, so anyway, I quickly became to realize that based on the kids who it wasn't their first time at that school, they were like, "Where did you come from?" They're like, "Why do you teach here?" At first, I was offended. Like, what do you mean? Why am I teaching here? I want to teach here. Keep in mind, this was a dilapidated building in the country, and there's beautiful schools in the district where I worked. I could have worked wherever I wanted. I wanted to work there. Those are the kids that I jive with. So I explained that to them. This is where I want to be. I want to be with you. And this particular student said to me, "You're too good for this school. You should be at a base school, because the way that you teach is the way that the base school teachers teach. And they don't do that here." I will never forget that conversation. Now that student ended up going back to his base school and graduating. And I saw him and it was amazing. So anyway, I have 1,000 stories like that. I have a former student who named her child after me. She named her child after me. Years after. That's the kind of connections that a teacher can make. But not all teachers are made the same. I don't know. I think we need better teacher training, a better understanding of the importance of making connections rather than being so focused on the content. Not that the content isn't important, it certainly is, but for many of these kids, they're not even going to hear the content. They're not going to care about the content unless you can reach them at a human level. When I was completing my master's degree, I was teaching, and I was in my final class, and it was, the big paper, the big huge research paper that you have to complete. And my topic was alternatives to suspension. It was kind of a I don't remember what I called it, but basically I looked at suspension research, statistics, what the repercussions and long-standing outcomes correlated to suspension, out of school suspension, and the school to prison pipeline. And I related that to, what are the alternatives to suspension in terms of preventative measures. So I looked at mindfulness and social emotional learning. In doing that, I created a survey for my students. Now, mind you, I'm teaching at this school where all the kids have been suspended multiple times. That's why they're there. At some point in time, the school, in my opinion, gave up on them and said, you just can't be here. Because that's what suspension is. You can't be here. We don't want you here. Okay. So I developed this survey because I wanted to know how students felt about suspension and what their personal experience with it has been. So the questions were, how many times have you been suspended? And there were multiple choice. How many times have you been suspended? What do you do when you're suspended, when you're at home? And the choices were like, what are you talking about? I'm not at home. I'm out in the streets. Because that's the reality. That's the reality of a lot of kids when they get suspended. They're not at home. And if they are at home, they're playing video games and eating snacks. Or there are those students who, if they're suspended and they're at home, they're going to be punished at home too. And that punishment can vary greatly, anywhere from something that is appropriate to straight up abuse. What do you think it does to a child if they're kicked out of school, have to be home, sent home to an abusive environment? Do you think that makes them come back to school and be better? Where are they supposed to be learning these tools? Another one of the questions was, how do you feel about yourself when you're suspended? Or what do you think? How did I word it? I don't know. But one of the choices was, I feel that I'm not wanted at school. And I can tell you that the majority of the students that answered that survey checked that. I don't feel like I am wanted at school. We're talking about, I mean, I've seen kids get suspended for being tardy to class too many times. Does that make any damn sense? Well, we're going to make you miss a day of school because you were late several times. Huh? What kind of sense does that make? Zero. 0 cents. Being a teacher is the best job in the world. My day was made when I walked into my classroom and my children gave me hugs every day. Yes, I'm telling you. And then there's this whole thing of, kids who don't, they're not able to sit in a desk, just sit in a desk and just listen and only talk when you raise your hand. And I might not even call on you, okay, if I don't feel like calling on you. It's hard for them. And it's a long day. Some kids need activity, right? So some classrooms, called responsive classrooms, will I'm waiting for these cars to go by. They're just never going to be gone. But some teachers will create a classroom that responds directly to what kids need. So if there's a need for movement, they're going to have, for example, I had an exercise bike in my classroom. I had a punching bag in my classroom. I had students who were upset in another classroom say to their teacher, I need to go see Miss blank. I'm not going to say my name. I almost did it. And they would come to me And they would talk to me for a few minutes. They would punch the punching bag. And then they go back and do what they needed to do. What's so wrong with that? What if by doing that, what if by providing some care and concern, just a few minutes, and someone that student knew that they could trust to talk to prevented a fight that day? But no, we just want kids to sit in a desk. Just sit at your desk and be quiet and don't move your feet around. Don't doodle. Don't you dare doodle while I'm giving you a lesson. Oh, and gum, don't you dare chew gum. No. It's fucking ridiculous. I used to pass out gum. I swear to God. And the kids would be like, you're giving me, I'm telling you, I've had kids, you're giving me gum? Can I chew it right now? Yes, baby, you can chew it right now. You know why? Because chewing gum actually gets your brain working. That's a thing. We need to step out of this classical idea of this frickin' 1872 version of school and do the right thing for these kids. We need to teach the whole child. They're all different. They all come from different backgrounds. Their genetic makeup is different. They all have different needs. So as soon as society realizes that, and as soon as we act on it and really do what kids need, that's when we won't have school shootings anymore. Thank you for attending my talk.